Yo, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great start to your year. Hope you guys are already being productive. My message to you guys this year is to get things done so y'all can make things happen and have some fun, man. Put that time in, put that effort in, and you will be rewarded. The grind, I don't like to say the word grind often, but in this case it works out. The grind always pays off. Now, for this video, I want to go ahead and make an update video on the Mustang, the FRS. I know it's been a long time since I've spoken about that car. It's been an even longer time since you guys have seen that car on the channel, and also an update on some future content that I think, really do think, will be coming to the channel. Now, first off, if you guys missed my previous video, you guys know, or you guys wouldn't know, but now you do, the Mustang is currently down because of a blown clutch. It's done, it's finito, it's blown. Had to push the car home. Now, I went ahead and already ordered a McLeod RXT twin disc clutch capable of 1,000 horsepower. I'm gonna go ahead, get that clutch installed. It's gonna be in the car Thursday, Friday at the latest. It comes in on Tuesday, but I'm gonna go ahead and start that break-in process now. So when I'm ready to go ahead and throw in the built motor, the transmission with the heads cam combo, the car's ready to go. I not need to go ahead and waste any time breaking in a clutch when I have an 1,000 wheel horsepower drive set up, in the car. I don't want to be doing that when that's in the car. I want to have some fun. That's why I'm going to go ahead and get that stuff done now, so it's ready to go. Now, as far as the BRZ goes, this is going to be kind of, I guess, upsetting to some of you guys, but realistically, it's for the best. And I personally just cannot justify spending this amount of money on that car. Now, as you guys may or may not know, I have a turbo FRS BRZ GT86, the Gen 1s. The Gen 2s are already out. I have a Gen 1 right now that is actually currently still in Illinois in my storage unit with a blown motor. I didn't even bring that to Texas with me because it doesn't run, so there's no point. But right now, that car is sitting with a blown motor. And it's been sitting like that since, I want to say, like May or something like that. I had plans on going ahead and building up that car to 600 wheel horsepower. Obviously, we got the Mustang, we went ahead and boosted that, and one thing led to another. I kind of fell in love with the Mustang. Now, here's the thing. I honestly do not see myself going ahead and finishing up the BRZ build because I personally just kind of fell out of love for that car. I don't know, I think I modified it too fast. I did literally everything to that car. Realistically, I owned the car for about 2 years, and I did everything to that car from pretty much taking it from bone stock to 350 wheel horsepower in like less than 1 year, which realistically is cool, but I think modifying a car that fast probably isn't a good idea, and it's a good way to kind of get yourself burnt out on the platform. Now, personally, I don't hate the BRZ GT86 FRS platform at all, but I just don't think it's a platform that suits my needs and what I want out of a car, because the F820 really isn't an engine you go ahead and build for high horsepower. Now, I know 600 wheel horsepower isn't a lot, but on an F820, that is a hell of a lot of horsepower, and it costs money to go ahead and get that power up there. Now, keep in mind, I went ahead and got a quote for the BRZ build as well as the Mustang build. Now, this is going to be two completely different power numbers. The BRZ, to get it up to 600 wheel horsepower, or at least close to 600 wheel horsepower, and the Mustang to get it to 1,000 wheel horsepower ready. The car will be 100% ready for 1,000 wheel horsepower. It just would need, to be turned up to that. Because obviously, I'm not gonna go from a 450 wheel horsepower Mustang dyno reading car to 1,000 wheel. I'm a firm believer you need to learn how to walk before you learn how to run. So jumping from that to that is kind of silly, and that's just asking for trouble. Now, here's the thing. The cost to get that BRZ to 600 wheel horsepower, worst case scenario, that's saying that everything failed on that car, which realistically, I'd have to start from scratch because I need a new motor, I would need a new heads, I would need custom cams, I also need a brand new turbo kit to support that, because the Greddy T518Z turbo on the car is definitely not going to support 600 wheel horsepower. It would cost $31,000 to go ahead and get that car built. Obviously, prices are going to change between, you know, labor from shop to shop, because I'm not going to do that shit myself, because honestly, I'm not familiar with the FA20 platform, nor do I realistically have time to go ahead and build up that car myself. I'm a pretty busy person. I'm not just gonna, you know, just talk out my ass here. I'm pretty busy. Like, I can't really sit down and build that car up in a time frame that I would realistically want it to get built. And it would cost $31,000 to get that done. And that does not include the CD009 swap, which inevitably would have to happen. If I were to go ahead, let's just say, and do that, I would be blowing transmissions probably every single month. And over time, it would just get annoying. And also keep in mind, the Mustang build is about, I'd say, less than half, or maybe a little bit more than half of that. And it just makes sense to go ahead and build up a platform that realistically can support that type of power, and that I also enjoy a hell of a lot more. Now, at heart, I'm a Mustang and a Corvette person. My first car was a V6 New Edge Mustang. I now own a V8 New Edge Mustang. So you kind of can see the correlation onto why I'm kind of prioritizing the Mustang build. And that's because, like, it's a car that, you know, I was first introduced to when I was, you know, into cars. And now, since I have the opportunity to go ahead and build up a higher horsepower 2-valve, it's like, okay, let's do it. But here's the thing. The only reason I'd go ahead and build up that FRS would be for the channel. It would not be for myself. And something you guys have probably noticed about my channel is I build up cars that I personally enjoy. Because an FA20, a 2-valve 4.6 liter V8 from the 90s, that really isn't a platform you build for high horsepower. I mean, if you want to build high horsepower, the easiest thing to do is just to get a newer car and just do bolt-ons and hit high horsepower. But that's not kind of what I want to do. I like to build up my cars, and, you know, building up an FA20 for just the channel isn't really justifiable when I personally would not really enjoy the car. And honestly, I'd probably sell it within like 6 months, just because it's something that I can't see myself getting behind now. I just can't do it. And honestly, as it sits right now, the car is pretty much sold. And because of that, I am highly going ahead and considering picking up a Corvette. I'm not saying what type of Corvette it is right now, because it's not set in stone, but I really am highly considering picking up a Corvette. Now, that being said, obviously, I'm still keeping the Mustang. I know I just said I don't like to go ahead and buy, you know, built cars or cars that are newer to just make easy horsepower. But for the price that the FRS is getting sold for, the price of the Corvette that I'm highly considering picking up, it's almost like, man, I can have two cars from two of the brands from the same kind of years. Well, I kind of spoiled it there, but I mean, I kind of spoiled it. But at the same time, it's just like, man, it's almost like foolish to not do it in a way, but we'll kind of see. We'll see what happens, but that's just kind of what's going down right now, fellas. Want to make an update for you guys. The Mustang build is currently underway. The FRS GT86 build is at an end. We might be going ahead and adding another car to the channel, that being a Corvette from a similar time frame. That actually is pretty badass. Like, if I end up going ahead, pulling the trigger and copping this car, I think every single last one of you guys on the channel will understand, and it is gonna be fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be fun having two high horsepower cars. But yeah, hope you guys have a great start to your year. Want to go ahead and put this update video for you guys out. So if you guys see something crazy on the channel within the next couple of weeks, y'all understand why. Hope you guys do enjoy. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and yes, I will be making a farewell FRS GT86 BRZ video later on, not now, later on, but you guys will definitely see that, because that car kind of got me introduced to modifying cars. It's just now we're going on to cliche, but quite literally bigger and better things. It's been your boy Ears POV. I'm gonna catch y'all next one. Deuces.